Alright, so the rain passed. It shut us down the other day, but we got to reground some beveled edges here, and you can see we've got everything scabbed together. Let me get out the light. And it's scabbed together on the other side, and we checked level. Everything is level, clamped in place. So we're going to get to welding this up, go from there. The project this morning, we're starting off with cutting off all these sides. That's all got to go. I left some of it on the back for scabbing on the extension that we did in case I needed to prop something up or hold something on it. But time for some finish welding and some measuring, so it's time to get these things off of here. So we'll do this real quick on time lapse and see if we can't make a hole in this trailer and get something going. All right, so we got the first pass 6011 rod on the angle irons, and what I'm doing now is putting in the cross members. We got another one going right here, and probably a little channel gonna go there. So I'm getting these spaced in, and I'm just clamping a little angle iron on there so that they sit in there and lines, you know, just squared up. I've got one more on the bandsaw getting ready to be cut. It's gonna go right up in here, and we'll get those welded on. Alright guys, I'm going to catch you up on this video here. I'm not exactly sure. I've been skipping around a little bit, and I'm not exactly sure what I covered and I missed with the weather the way it's been. I've been trying to film between the raindrops, but I took my air jack, put it under the tongue, got some pipe jacks underneath the trailer, and of course my chain falls. So we got it up high enough, you know, about chest high or so, where we can weld in some easier positions, not have to lay in this damn limestone. So all I'm doing here, as you see, we extended the trailer 6 feet. Sorry about the shadows, but that's all we got to work with this morning. So every 2 feet, every 2.5 feet was a 2x4 rib. I don't have any 2x4 ribs, but I had some 4x4s, so we continued the 2.5 foot spacing, and all we did to drop them in is clamp a piece of angle on the tops of each side, grind them and drop them in, and the angle holds them flat so you can be tacked in, and of course put a square right here, make sure everything's square. This I wanted to show. Let me see if I can get on the other side. I had another trailer that had an issue, so the board's dead end here, and they bolt down to anchor them in the back, and I didn't want to have any feet or anything that would be pushing down on the boards right here. If the bolt cracks, then the board's going to want to push and slide back, and I've had them give me trouble. So I just decided to back up a foot to put this final rib in there, just to take the load and not put all the load on this little angle here. And I moved it, it's a foot back, and I moved it just enough to where I can put some fish plates on these welds. And so now we're just burning in the rest of the mild steel rods, 6011 or 6010, and then we'll be coming back behind it with 7018 to cap it all off. So that's where we are now. And I'm gonna see if I can find a good spot for the camera and set you guys up. Again, it's not a how-to, but some of you may have some questions on why I'm doing what I'm doing, and that'll kind of explain it to you. All right, let me get the camera in position. We'll see if we can't get some shots of some welding. It'll probably be time lapse. I know you guys don't want to sit here and watch, you know, a whole lot of welding. So let me get it set up. Alright, so we're back on this trailer stretch project this morning after some rain and whatnot, and we have these ramps that we built, and they're always a pain in the butt because they're heavy as hell and we got to strap them down. So I went ahead and did a test fit and got a rack set up here, and I'll show you more about it. But I haven't done the one on that side, so I'm going to show y'all how to build a bunk rack for these ramps so we can keep them with you. So let's get into it. All right, so what we're going to do, we got to square these up. I'm just going to square them off of this piece and have them flush right here. And we know that we need to be, I believe it's 16 1/8 wide. Let me get a tape measure. All right, so we got the tape. The other bunk was 16 1/4 wide. So we're going to align this one. Do the same thing back here. Let me get this double check that she moved. Check this is square. Yep. Alright. So we got this piece, which is already pre-cut. And check this measurement here. Alright. I don't know about you guys, but with me, Can't hurt to measure more than one time. But measure once, cut once. I can measure 15 times and cut once and still get it wrong. Alright. What I'm going to do is clamp this in place so she's square. We'll clamp her in place and weld her up. And then I have some angles that'll go toward the back. Alright, double check this. 16 3/8. Alright, so that should hold a square. I'm gonna burn this in, and then I'm gonna take these two angles and we'll set them on here once we flip it over, and that'll make the frame, and then we can put it underneath and get our depth measurement and go from there. Alright, so that gives us our rack. Sorry about that noise. And so we're gonna suspend that underneath here and gap it to the right depth to where the ramp can slide in. So let me get some jack stands set up and we'll get that going, get her all mocked up. All right guys, so I got some tabs in here. This one is squared and it's on the line right where I want that outside to be, and this one is mocked up 16 7/8 over from it. It should fit in there. I'm gonna weld this one solid because it's square. We're gonna take the bunk and put it on these jack stands and butt it up against there, and then we'll bring this one into it, and that'll square everything up here, and we'll check it in the back over there. All right, let's get this rascal up under here. I've got the front welded up so the side I showed you can't move, and we're gonna go ahead and see if we can get this up under here and leveled out. Like that. All right, so I'm gonna have to lift this up. I'm gonna lift it up and get it square here and bring this one in. Yep, that's down. Let's see if we can go up. So what I did is, just having this one welded, I knew I wanted to be here. I don't care where I am here. And instead of tacking this in and possibly being off, I figured I'll just bring it all in and it'll square itself up. So this one can go up just a hair. And that's going to square everything up. We already squared to this, and that'll bring everything in and true it all up for us. Strong. Yep. Alright, so we're going to clamp this in and make sure this is tight. And that should straighten us out in the back. There we go. Alright. So now this is ready to weld. This is flush. Flush enough. Alright. That'll work. And go line up the back. Alright, let's get this one leveled out in the back. Come up high enough with just this, but we're gonna see. Looking level over there. So we're going to take these little tabs we cut and we're going to clamp them on. That one's ready to weld up. Let's do the other one. And we'll weld these in, and that'll lock everything into place. We'll do the same thing with the bunks over there. I mean the bunks, hanging the bunks to the drop down brackets. And only other thing I'll have to do, and I'll show y'all, is we're going to put a stopper so the ramp can only go so far. that looks like it. We got it all set up in here. It matches this one. I got some angle iron right there. We're gonna make a little stop where they can't go too much further, and then we're gonna make some doors back here that'll open and pin so that the ramps can't come out the back. But that's, slide them in like that. All right, on to the next thing.